So I've got something pretty cool to show you guys. And it's not even that, it's this. My original idea for Bark and Jack was to start a watch company, but the more I looked into it, the more I realized I didn't have anywhere near enough cash. But then things just started to get a bit out of hand. The YouTube channel started to grow, the watch strap started to do well, and I was enjoying what I was doing. However, the idea of designing a watch and launching a watch was always in the back of my mind. Whenever I get a watch in to do a review on, and we all do this as watch enthusiasts, we see things that we'd like to change. However, sometimes watches come in, you can see it only needs a tweak to make it perfect. And that's exactly what happened when I got hands-on with the Christopher Ward C60 Lumière.
I've never been a fan of gradient dials. This is exactly my same criticism around the Pelagos 39. Just give me a flat color.
Now, I've got to know the guys over at Christopher Ward quite well over the past 5-6 years. It still felt a bit odd going to them and saying, you know that watch you worked really hard to design? It's really good, but there's things that I want to change about it. I went down to Christopher Ward's head office and I pitched my ideas to Mike France and his team. In essence, I went to Christopher Ward and I said, I want to create the ultimate dive watch. Mike France said to me, that was the tagline for the Lumière that they created. And it kind of made me think, well, okay, so you've done it. You've done that mission of wanting to create the ultimate dive watch. And that got me thinking, what am I trying to do? I'm not a diver. I have lots of dive watches. I like the fact that they can achieve something that I don't necessarily need. They can perform to a standard that surpasses my requirements. It's a bit like a 4x4, the Defender. It can do so much more than I would ever require of it. However, I like the fact it can do the extreme stuff. And so rather than creating the ultimate dive watch, I feel like the motivation is to create the ultimate tool watch. The watch that you don't need to worry about. The watch that can handle life, perform well, look great, and be hugely accurate. And that's why I feel like the Lumière was such a great platform to start with. I just want to tweak it. There's just small changes that I want to do to the watch. So this is the Christopher Ward Lumière Green 15 Bark and Jack. The main thing that I wanted to change about the watch was really push it to be as utilitarian as possible, make it as purposeful as possible. The specifications of the watch are ever so slightly different from the standard Lumière. It's 41mm wide, it's 10.85mm thick, the lug-to-lug measurement is 47.9mm, and the lugs themselves are 22mm. It's got a massive 300 meters of water resistance, and the movement inside is the Sleater SW300-1 COSC. This is a COSC certified movement, and the accuracy is -4 to +6 seconds a day. That is an outrageous performance for a watch of this price. Now, keeping to the true faith of what the Lumière is, it's a dive watch. And so we wanted to push the dive element even further as well. The most important functions of a dive watch is the minute hand in relation to the bezel. So we've customized the lume on the watch so that the minute hand stands out from the rest. The minute hand is green and the rest of the watch is blue. We've also customized the lume on the bezel, so 0 to 15 is in green and then the rest is in blue, but then the bezel is also fully marked with all the minutes and everything is lumed. We now have this flat, matte, not quite black dial. It's just off black with these matte hour markers and a mixture of shapes of hour markers to make it as legible as possible. You always know that the triangle is at 12 o'clock, so you know that orientation. And then we have a mixture of batons and circles to then represent the other hours, just to make it as legible as possible. Now, when a lot of people do limited edition watches, they put the logo on the dial. We've done that, just in an incredibly subtle way. So I requested that the Bark and Jack logo is on the dial. I enjoy double stamped watches. I think it's a cool little touch. However, I didn't want the logo to take away from the legibility of the watch. I wanted the main purpose of the watch to be, this is all about telling time. Now I wanted the logo on there because I feel like it's important to stamp your name on work that you're proud of. So the Bark and Jack logo is on the dial. It's just we have a matte black dial with a matte black Bark and Jack logo until you shine a UV light on it and it glows. But it's purposely not lumed, much to the annoyance of Christopher Ward, because that would have been easier to do. But this is just black that suddenly bursts with colour. A little nod that I found really interesting and was a really cool thing that Christopher Ward did. One of the designers at Christopher Ward watches the channel. Ages ago, I don't know how he remembered this or how he managed to find the video, but I spoke about my late grandfather's Swiss Army knife. I can't remember why I mentioned it. It's a pretty cool knife. It's a very old knife. But when the designer was thinking about the texture or patterns for the case back, he thought, we could use a knurling from this Swiss Army knife. Really cool little touch. There's a secondary project to this watch, and that's a strap that's going to come with the watch itself. This is a strap that we've been working on with what I consider to be the best strap maker in the world. And frankly, that's just not my opinion. That's opinions of the best watchmakers in the world. And it's quite fun using this launch for a little pre-production launch of the strap. Now the watch is a collaboration, and as is the strap. This is our strap design, but based around Christopher Ward's measurements and requirements, but it's also using one of their clasps, which is made from the same titanium as the watch itself. So everything's color matched. This is a limited edition watch, and we've changed really quite a few aspects of this watch, but a big focus was we wanted it to be as close to the original price as possible. We didn't want to add any limited edition tax onto this watch. The price in the UK is going to be £2,150. In the US, it's going to be $2,995, and you don't have to worry about any tariffs. And it's not just going to be the watch. You're going to get this new generation of Bark and Jack strap, and you're going to be getting a UV torch. Now, this isn't going to be limited to numbers. It's limited to a window. And so if you want one, you can get one. It's going to go live today, the 5th of February, but it's going to stop on the 12th. So if you want one of these watches, click on the link in the description down below. That'll take you over to Christopher Ward, the lovely guys over there. They'll look after you. Now, I know some of you are going to be wondering why I'm talking about a dive watch in the mountains of Scotland. And that's essentially because quite a few reasons. One, I thought we were going to launch this watch in the summer, and I had plans on learning to dive, and I thought it would be pretty cool for that to be the reason that I finally learned to dive. But it's February, and it is quite literally freezing. Over here, I'll show you, the river's frozen. But also, it kind of comes down to the reason that this watch was built. I like my watches to perform to a level that I don't need. I'm never going to go down to 300 meters, even if I do learn to dive. The reality is I'm going to be late regardless of how accurate my watch is. But I like the fact my watch is accurate, and I like the fact that it has 300 meters of water resistance. The biggest factor that I enjoy about watches is when the watch can handle life. When I don't have to worry about it. When it can take a beating and it can handle it. That's exactly what this watch can do. Some of you might know my backstory, might have followed the channel for long enough to know my background. I used to work in HR, and I'd spend my evenings researching watches. And it got to the point where I had this information, I thought I'd make a video. Some of you guys watched it, and so I thought I'd do it again. And this is why getting to this point of being able to build a watch with a watch brand is so cool. It's because you guys helped build this channel. This was a collaboration. And having this channel alone is a dream. And you guys have facilitated that dream. You've given me feedback, you've followed, you've subscribed, you've engaged, you've built this channel up to the point of being able to fulfill another dream of building my own watch. And so a massive thank you. It's very cool. And I owe that to you guys. Thanks very much. And I hope you enjoy your watch.